Hello parents, I hope you are doing well. I know it's a challenging time. It continues to be a challenging time in 2020 as now we enter the school year and kids are at home full-time with the full-time school, or for many of the students they are. So some are in person, but that obviously brings some concerns and worries for some of us at the same time. I wanted to take a moment for us to pause and to think about the impact and the opportunity we have to talk to our kids about our faith in a time where there are so many things going around which challenge us to apply our faith and to think about the impact of what it means to be a Christian. I think for many of you, like me, we grew up in a time that could have been 30, 40, 50 years ago, could have been half a century ago, could have been the previous century, where things were a little different for Christianity. Or maybe we didn't even grow up as Christian or grew up in an environment where a different culture in a different country where Christianity looked very different. But regardless, I think some of the things that we've learned and some of the things that we think about as far as Christianity go have changed. Like for example, for me growing up, we used to always talk about abortion being right or wrong, and we talk about arguments for evolution and creation and what can Christians believe. We talked about proofs of God's existence, the ontological, cosmological, teleological, epistemological, things like that. And these things are all important. These things are all good to know. And these days, there are some young people and kids and intellectuals that really need to talk and struggle and argue about these things. But as a whole, the millennial generation before the kids now, and this Gen Z, the currently teenagers today, and then whatever the next generation, Gen C for COVID maybe, I don't know. These generations, these are not the main things that they are thinking about. These are not their main concerns and how they look at Christianity and think about the truth of Christianity. The average millennial today, the average Gen Z kid, and probably the generation afterwards, is mostly concerned with the practical aspect of Christianity, with the relevancy of Christianity. In other words, what they're thinking about is Christianity relevant? Is it practical? Is it making a difference in this world? And you can say what you want about, is that a good way to come about your religious convictions or to determine what's true or not? That's a different argument. But the reality is that is how they are making decisions about Christianity. And I think it's worth us taking a moment to think about, in our personal lives, is my life better because I'm a Christian as opposed to not being a Christian? How does Christianity impact my life and give me hope or purpose or integrity or whatever it is? How is it better because I'm a Christian rather than not being a Christian? And also, is my impact in this world, my difference in this world, whether it's on my relationships, in my family, my spouse, or my in-laws or my kids, my relationship with friends and my neighbors, my impact at work, my contribution to the world, is that a blessing? Is that a good thing? Am I making this world a better place because I'm a Christian? Because of the values I have, because of the things I believe about God and me and others? Or is it not? I mean, is it, unfortunately for, what I think a lot of people see in Christianity is that, that it's not making this world better, it's making it worse. I think as Christians, we need to ask this question. We need to ask and be honest with the truth of the impact of Christianity, the relevancy, the the application of our faith into our lives. And I think as parents, we need to think about how do we share that with our kids? How do we talk about that with our kids? How can we, I think kids pick it up anyway. They will intuit and they will see it. They realize it even without us talking about it. But we also do need to talk about it. We also do need to explicitly explain the values we have and the impact that Christianity has on who we are. So I hope you can think about that. Think about the impact on your personal life. Is your life better because you are a Christian than if you were not? And your impact on the world. Is this world a better place because of you in it, because of your faith? And make sure that this is the reality, the truth of your faith and your belief in God. And then communicate that to your kids. Share that and talk about it with your kids.